Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the inauguration of the City of Milford officials. Please join me in recognizing the Milford Concert Band under the direction of Dwayne Bird. First, I'd like to welcome and introduce to you our newly elected officials. First, our constables. Ted Boynton, Brendan Casey, Ted Boynton, Brendan Casey, Linda Hardiman, George Marshall, Shirley Serrano, Steve Fountain, Matthew Zanowitz. Next, our newly elected Board of Education members. Ray Arnold, Scott Furmender, Susan Lennon, Lauren Pulowski, Jennifer Federico, Aaron Consens, Fred Saxton, Rita Hennessy, Claire Casey, and Evan Leon. Now we present our newly elected Planning and Zoning Board. Peg Kearney, Denise Doucette, Denise, Robert Sadek, Ryan Callan with the Legion, Nancy Austin, Carl Moore. And now, your newly elected Board of Aldermen. James Tranquilli, Jr. Anthony Giannatasio. Janet Golden. Nick Vecchiarelli. Jeremy Grant. Martin Hardiman. Frank Smith. Connie Gaynor. Anthony Sutton, Phil Vitro, Dan Berman, Karen Fortunati, Ryan Anderson, and Ray Vitale. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to give a warm welcome to your city clerk, Joanne Rohrig, who will be escorted by her children, Joe, Jared, Jeremy Rohrig, and Chelsea Casey. Now, please join me in welcoming Mayor-elect Benjamin Blake, his wife Sandy, and his children Carter, Caroline, and Tucker, who will be escorted by Fire Chief Doug Ito and Police Chief Keith Mello. The Honor Guard is escorted by the Milford Fire Department Honor Guard and representatives of Milford's Veterans Ceremony and Parade Commission and the Veterans Organizations in Milford. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. I'd like to invite Mrs. Kelly's Captain Meadow School Kindergarten class to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Honor Guard, present arms.
Thank you, Miss Kelly's Captain Meadowside Kindergarten class. Great job. Please remain standing. I'd like to welcome City Mayor to the stage to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sydney Mayer. Beautiful job. Now I'd like to introduce Reverend Matthew Lindeman, pastor of St. Peter's Episcopal Church, who will give the invocation.
Good evening. I wonder if we might begin this moment with a deep breath as we enter into a moment of prayer. Let us pray. Loving God, we thank you for the gift of gathering us together in this place as we celebrate the gift of sound government, the freedoms which we enjoy in our common life together here in this city of Milford tonight. We especially thank you for the gift of those who have put themselves forward for public service. We ask that you be present with us as we commission our elected representatives for the tasks which they will discharge. Send down, loving God, your grace, your compassion and wisdom on these your servants as they assume these roles and the duties and the responsibilities entrusted to them by the people of Milford. Grant them the endurance required to run the race set before them, that they may fulfill your duties to this community with an abiding spirit of charity, compassion, grace, and joy. Bless the city of Milford and all who dwell within her, that we together might reflect to the best of our abilities a vision of your kingdom here on earth, where the hungry are fed, the vulnerable are protected, and all who live and work here are free to live, learn, work, play, and sing as one united human family. All this we ask in the honor and glory of your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like next to introduce Milford's Poet Laureate, Mick Thieves.
Hi everybody. So for the occasion, I was asked to write a poem, and I decided to reflect on time, history, and new beginnings. We stand continually on the precipice of time, pushing forward, forward, ever forward, on that rollicking sea of chance and fortune, fate and possibility. We have stood fast against the night and braved the winds to see the morning light, warming our faces in these new places we've seen before, but don't quite recall because so much has changed in the cycle of up and down, back and forth, ebb and flow. Since those days long ago where those weary travelers went looking for a home, changes come to our humble shores, relentless, unstoppable, without cease, bringing good and bad, war and peace, a scab of pain and healing relief. But we are not mere subjects to the winds of the slings and arrows of fate's effects. We raise our voices and create our own destiny, navigating the river of time collectively. The cycle continues. Old begets the new, with history to forever remember. Rebirth is here. Spring has come this November. Thank you.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize the dignitaries on stage with us this evening. We have Representative Pam Stanesky. Judge of Probate, Beverly Strickland-Fowles. Superintendent Feeser. Reverend Matthew Lindeman, and the Reverend Ashley Graham. Also would like to recognize our former mayor, James Richard Kelly, who I saw come in earlier. I'd like to also take a moment to recognize all the veterans in the audience. If you're a veteran, please rise and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, again, good evening and welcome to the inauguration of Milford's newly elected officials. My name is Rick Smith, and may I say what an honor it is for me to be here on stage with these fine people, our newly elected leaders. As we turn our sights to the coming holiday, it's fitting that tonight we take time to come together as a community to celebrate and be grateful for the city in which we live. Tonight we celebrate Milford, our democratic process, and our friends, family, and neighbors who stood up to take part in that process this year. And tonight we'll take an oath to lead our city in the coming years. Tonight, however, would not be complete if we did not also recognize the friends, family, and neighbors who put themselves out there to run for public office this year, but are not on stage with us tonight. While they may have come up a few votes short at the ballot box, they certainly did not come up short in their commitment to our community or the courage and sacrifice it took to put oneself out there to seek elective office. So please allow me, if you would, to share with you the names of those candidates who are not on stage tonight, but are, in every sense of the word, still winners. I'll read their names, and then I'll ask you to join me in giving them a round of applause to show our gratitude and respect for their efforts. Nyjah Phelps, Kim Rose, Pat Tokars, Tom Nickel, Walter Hagedorn, Desi Tango, Tom Rubik, Frank Musante, Mark Macchio, Michael Casey, Susan Krasinski, Tom Jaganowski, Peter Berube, Rick Verone, John Drapp, Wynn Smith, Katie Martino, Richard Goller, Bill Bevan, Dominic Cotton, William Farrell, and Ed Meade. Thank you to those individuals. Next, I'd like to recognize the piano that Principal Zito will play. It was donated from our former mayor, Joel Baldwin, and asked Principal Zito to come up to play for us, America the Beautiful.
Thank you, Milford. This one's for you. Oh, beautiful, spacious skies, forever waves of green, purple mountains, majesties, above the fruited plain.
Next, I'd like to introduce Assistant City Clerks Bonnie Peloso, Susan Horvath, and Rose Elliott, who will administer the oath of office to Joanne Rorick as City Clerk. Joanne will now swear in our city officials to the Board of Aldermen, Board of Education, Planning and Zoning, and constables.
Would everyone please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that you will uphold your duties and responsibilities to the best of your ability to your elected positions for the city of Milford, so help you God, or under pain or penalty for perjury of oath? Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks to all of the newly elected officials who just took the oath for their willingness to serve our city. Much success in the next 2 years. Next, I'd like to introduce our Judge of Probate, Judge Beverly Straker-Follis, who will administer the oath of office to our mayor.
Do you, Benjamin G. Blake, solemnly swear or sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as mayor of the small city with a big heart, the city of Milford in the state of Connecticut, to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or under penalties of perjury?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Beverly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2017 Milford Inauguration. Welcome, honored guests, honored officials, reverend clergy, city and state officials, all the participants in tonight's ceremony. I do want to start off by saying thank you to a few people. Our Community Development Director, Julie Nash, our Public Works Department, Linda Michelle of my office, for all the good work and hard work that you have done organizing and coordinating tonight's festivities. Thank you very much. Richard Smith, thank you for your friendship, and thank you for emceeing tonight's event. And a great big congratulations to our newly elected and re-elected city officials, members of our Board of Aldermen, our Board of Education, our Planning and Zoning Board, our constables. I look forward to working with you over the course of the next 2 years to make Milford even better. And to my colleague, our city clerk, Joanne Rory, once again, congratulations. To my biggest supporters, my beautiful and talented wife, Sandy, my kids, Carter, Caroline, and Tucker, my mom, my dad, my sister and brother-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, and all of my extended family, thank you for everything, especially for your patience. To the citizens of Milford, I stand before you both humbled and honored. Humbled by the oath that I have just taken, and honored for the continued trust that you have placed in me. I promise to work to earn that trust each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight represents a process of renewal. New boards, new commissions, new terms, new people, new goals, new challenges. For me, I've had the great privilege of serving as Milford's mayor. It has offered me an unbelievably unique set of experiences, and for that I thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to participate in Eagle Scout Courts of Honor and to march in our St. Patrick's Day Parade and Independence Day Parade with our ancient fife and drum corps. Thank you for allowing me to work with our sitting Connecticut Kid Governor, Jessica Broxham, to improve the lives of our young people and our pets. Thank you for allowing me to help the crew of the mighty Currituck dredge Milford Harbor. Thank you for allowing me to present our 2017 Joseph A. Foreign High baseball team with the key to the city after their impressive run. Ladies and gentlemen, the job of mayor is incredible. There is something different every hour of every day. Experience after experience, and I love it. One of those experiences that I truly appreciate, one of the roles that I relish, is that of tour guide in chief. Every year, throughout the course at least of the school years, classes from all the Milford schools have field trips at City Hall. And I get to talk a little bit about Milford government, about the history of our great city. Next week I have 2 tours scheduled. One is Carter's second grade class at Cap Penn, so I'm looking forward to that. But for each of the classes, we always start on the steps of City Hall, and we talk about Milford's remarkable 378-year history. Milford was founded in 1639, 150 years before George Washington took the oath of office, 150 years before the United States Constitution was ratified. Milford is a place that really has been at the center of our nation's history. Milford is a place where we have led in innovation. And on these field trips we talk about Simon Lake's submarine, Frank Sprague's electric trolley car. We talk about the first telephone switchboard. We talk about the first lobster roll ever at Perry's. So Milford has been at the forefront. There are a lot of firsts. And for the field trips that we take, a lot of times The students' first interaction with local government, or any government for that matter, certainly their first trip to City Hall is then. So the pressure is on me to make sure it's a good experience, make sure that they get excited and want to come back to City Hall. I always tease everybody that we love visitors at City Hall because it's a lonely place unless we have people continuing to come in. And this may be a little bit of a public service announcement, but I'm inviting everybody. If you haven't been to City Hall in a while, please come. At this point, the only offices are my office and the City Attorney's office in the entire building. So we really appreciate when folks come to visit. At one point, it was a hustling, bustling place where we had the City Clerk's office and the Finance office and the Tax office. At one point, there was even the police station in City Hall. But now it's a little bit lonelier, so I'm happy to be a tour guide. But back to the class trips. Once we enter City Hall, we are standing in that front foyer that has the portraits of the 9 former mayors that have served our city so faithfully since 1959, when Milford switched from a town form of government to a city form of government with a mayor. And we start off with a portrait of Charles Iovino, who was Milford's first mayor, who came into office under a little bit of unusual circumstances. Back in 1959, the Democrats didn't want to have him as their candidate, and the Republicans didn't want to have him either. So he waged a write-in campaign, and the voters wanted him. So he became our first mayor of the city of Milford through a write-in campaign. But we talk about all of the city administration since 1959. We talk about Mayor Riccitelli's term and Mayor Liston's term and all the different accomplishments throughout the many years, all the projects that got built, all the initiatives that were started. But one question that is always asked of me by at least one student in each class, and I think she snuck it in the back, but at least one student points to Mayor Jago, Berlin Jago's portrait, and asks, how come we've only had one female mayor? And to this I say, our future is bright. If you look at the fine elected officials on this stage, the extraordinary women that have just taken the oath of office, our best years are still yet to come. We love it. Ladies and gentlemen, the first stop is right outside my office on these class trip tours. We go over to the official flag of the city of Milford. It is a hand-stitched, hand-painted flag. It is hanging in the hallway. It was a flag that was created back in 1964. The mayor at the time, Alan Jepson, and the superintendent of schools, Joseph Foran, held a competition in celebration of Milford's 325th anniversary. The competition asked all the students of Milford to design the official flag, and a Jonathan Law student named Karen Salumi, her design was selected and has ever since been Milford's official flag. The kids, I think, really enjoyed the fact that Karen Salumi not only was the designer of the flag, but then went on to great fame as a designer, designed things like our U.S. Olympic team uniforms. But after we talk about the flag, we move a couple steps down the hall and we talk about the map that shows the boundary line between Milford and Orange. The map is referred to as the perambulating map, and I'm looking at our former city historian in the well over here. The word perambulate is just a fancy word for walking. But up until the 1970s, the state of Connecticut had a law in their books called the perambulating law. And the perambulating law required all mayors and first selectmen to walk the boundary lines with the adjacent mayor and first selectmen and settle any boundary disputes. And there's been a few kids, almost a few kids in every class, that always raise their hand and ask, how are these disputes settled? Well, it was before my time, so I plead ignorance, but the kids always push me, and they ask whether the mayors and first selectmen duel with swords, or they wrestle each other to the ground. And I don't know the answer, but if you know the first selectman in the town of Orange, he is a farmer that stands 6'7", and I don't think I'd be able to wrestle him to the ground, so I'm happy that law is no longer on the books. We always take a trip up to the balcony, Milford's historic balcony, and we talk about the spitball incident. And this may be a apocryphal story, but it was told to me by a former Milford mayor, so I think it bears repeating every time we have a class trip. But the legend of the spitball goes back to 1961, when Mayor Iovino was in office, and as rumor has it, there was a hot and spirited Board of Aldermen meeting where they were debating education funding. And City Hall was packed. It was standing room only. Both the upstairs and the downstairs of the auditorium was shoulder to shoulder. And Mayor Iovino was sitting in the well of the auditorium, and up from high in the balcony, a spitball shot and hit him square in the head. Now again, this is a story that I have not fact-checked, but I tell the students that there may have been other reasons why the balcony is closed down. Perhaps the fire marshal or the building official closed it down for safety reasons, but the kids seem to like the story of the spitball. But the final stop for these class trips, for these tours, brings us down to the aldermanic chambers. The kids are allowed to go and sit behind the microphones where board and commissioners sit. And at that point, they are allowed to ask me whatever they'd like. And ladies and gentlemen, I can say that the students of Milford ask the darndest questions. You know, I think that they're going to ask me questions about Milford's history, or local government, or what I do on a day-to-day basis, and they ask me some of that. But they also ask me questions about my favorite type of pizza. They ask me what type of pets I have, whether City Hall is haunted. They ask me every single time whether or not I live and sleep every night at City Hall. They ask me whose duty and responsibility it is to go to the top of City Hall where the clock tower is at daylight savings time and change the clock an hour back or an hour forward. And I assure them that's one of the jobs of being mayor. But, ladies and gentlemen, the questions that these students ask, they make you smile, they make me think, they reaffirm my faith in the future. A lot of times my only response to the questions is, if you're lucky enough to live in Milford, you're lucky enough. But there is one question that they ask almost every time. I think it's a question that a lot of the candidates over the last 2 months during the campaign were asked on the campaign trail. And it's, why do you want to run for elected office? Why do you want to be Milford's mayor? And to this, I respond, I was born in this city. I grew up here, was raised here, I went to school here, and now Sandy and I have chosen Milford to raise our kids. And I want Caroline and Carter and Tucker and all of our children to know the Milford that I know. The Milford that I know today, the Milford that I know we can realize into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I love what I do. I love being part of this extraordinary community. I love being part of this fabulous Milford family. It is with purpose and pride that I again take the helm and continue to help steer this wonderful city. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for the honor of and privilege of being your mayor of the greatest city on earth. I thank you all for coming out tonight. God bless you all. God bless the small city with a big heart.
Milford Concert Band, thank you. The mayor mentioned it. I did not see our former mayor, Alberta, come in. I recognized our former mayor, Riccitelli. We are a city of traditions, and we have had the privilege of having very strong and capable mayors serving this city over the years. James Riccitelli being one, and the other being my good friend Alberta Jago, who I believe is here. So Alberta, welcome. If you would all please stand for the benediction. We're pleased to have Reverend Ashley Grant of the First United Church of Christ lead us tonight in prayer.
Receive the benediction. Holy One, on this day, when we lift up the highest ideals for government by the people, for the people, and of the people, when oaths are taken and promises are made for the upholding of freedom and justice, we seek your good word and your guiding vision to lead us forward. May the words of our elected officials that they pledged this day become the good word that focuses their work each day for the people of Milford. May their motivation to serve and the oaths that they have taken remind us, all of us, of the power and blessing of keeping commitments, of integrity and accountability that create the foundation of a healthy and just society. Inspire and equip them with wisdom and skill to serve and pursue the common good, surrounded by a united community ready to do our part to maintain security, uphold our history, explore opportunity for our children, and push the edges of possibility for Milford. Holy One, bless their families now with patience, humor, and a trove of encouragement to support these leaders for the important work to which they have been elected. Holy One, we seek a good word for a hope-filled future for young and old, for individuals, our households, our schools, our city, our state, our nation, and our global community. So with humble hearts, we lift up these leaders, policy makers, law protectors, neighbors, and friends, that you would bless them with vision to see potential, to hear the cries of those who are in need, to act with compassion and courage, and to always speak truth. May your good word of peace be upon each as we go forth to serve. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Graham. As the ceremony comes to an end, I'd like to extend my thanks to, or our thanks to the Police Academy volunteers who helped to organize tonight and ran a lot of the logistics, as well as the Milford Concert Band, as they play the final salute. Ushers comprised of key clubs from both Ford and Jonathan Law High School will escort you to meet your newly elected officials, have a cup of coffee and refreshments on the first floor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this evening. Have a happy holidays.